We had a plan to see Madeira in 4 days. Well, actually, we means me and my backpack. But anyway, the endless ocean, majestic mountains and diverse flora, with one of the most beautiful cities on earth. Yeah, this is Madeira. First of all, let's talk about my plan. Here are all the destinations I wanted to visit. But wait, what on earth is Madeira? Do you know Portugal? This is Portugal, and this is Madeira. It is a part of Portugal in the Atlantic Ocean, near Africa. It was claimed by Portuguese sailors in 1419. Enough for the history, let's get to the travel blog. So here are the places I was supposed to visit, and here what I actually visited. We will begin with the trekking from airport to the Pointe de Saint-Laurent. Those are one of the most beautiful cliffs I've ever seen in my life. And there are all kinds of trekkings out there which are maintained by government. Actually, it concerns the whole island. All the best places are easily accessible by bus and almost all your adventures will be safe. Almost. There is one interesting fact about the airport of Madeira. And no, it's not that it's called the airport of Cristiano Ronaldo. This is the most dangerous airport of Europe. Because of the wind, the aircraft is shaking like crazy. The pilots have to have a special license in order to land planes here. Now explain me. Why the fuck do you go from the airport to this fancy place you showed me recently on foot? Well, that's a great question. Let's say I just dreamed of breaking my legs and driving myself insane. But the views were magnificent, especially of this beautiful city, Machico. It is located a few kilometers from the airport just near the ocean. It is almost as if the city was squeezed between the immense mountains and... oh my gosh, this fog. This is so beautiful. My jaw dropped when I saw this scenery for the first time. Beautiful. I'm speechless. That's the first thing I saw when coming to this island. And I'm sure it's not the best scenery out there, and I will see much more different, beautiful, mesmerizing things. But man, I don't know what will happen to my mind after the 4-day trip, because this island is amazing. Wow, that's a spooky ambience. I don't know how to explain it, but inside of a tunnel, first of all, there is no one, no cars, no people. The second thing is that it's really long. This is a tunnel which is connecting Canissal to Machico, two big cities. And just that feeling that's intimidating as fuck. Wow, there is some water dripping from the upper part of the tunnel. The thing I'm going to tell you right now is really strange, but here it smells like a cake with butter, for real. I don't know what makes it smell this way, maybe because of the humidity or these rocks, but indeed it smells like a cake with butter. After 4 to 5 hours, we are finally here. I was exhausted. I was sweat like a waterfall and my legs were shaking. And what a surprise it was to learn that the main trekking starts here. Well, at least this is an unbelievably beautiful place. I like this spot so much that I came here for the second time, especially the beach. It is the best beach I've been to on Madeira. Actually, I was only on 2 beaches, but never mind. Now we return to Funchal. For those who don't know, Funchal is the capital of Madeira and the biggest city on the island. If you're looking for accommodation or the best restaurants, of course you will come to Funchal. Almost all the buses go from and to Funchal. I recommend to book your hotel here. I paid €300 for 3 nights, and believe me, that's only the starting price, so you better book in advance and not in the hot season. By the way, breakfast was included. The second day begins at 4 AM because I've booked a guide to Pico de Arriero and Pico Ruivo. I will warn you in advance, you will walk a lot. When I returned in the hotel, I couldn't feel my legs. It is 5 AM in the morning. We're going to meet with our guide to see the beautiful sunrise on Pico da Arriero. I'm so excited. There will be so many things to do. So the day is going to be stunning. Speaking about the guide, the only thing he did was bringing us to the beginning of the trekkings, and to be honest, that was more than enough. The first 2 hours we spent on Pico do Arriero watching the sunrise. It was a divine experience. I've never seen such clouds before, even though it's not my first time in the mountains. Hard to explain it with words, but it's more of a fog than clouds. It looks like the milk foam, and that's one of the things I will never forget about Madeira in my entire life. After 2 hours we are heading to Pico Rio. The whole trekking took around 1 hour. It was impressive. This is the highest point of Madeira, 1862 meters of altitude. Here I have to make 2 remarks about this island. First of all, the weather is a really interesting thing here. Before coming on Madeira, I heard from everywhere that 15 minutes it's sunny, then 5 minutes it's raining, then it's sunny, then it's windy. You get the point. The forecast doesn't really work here. But for the whole 4 days I've been on Madeira, the weather was almost the same. A little bit of rain, but 95% of time it's hot. So take as much of pairs of socks and underwear as it is only possible. You will be sweating a lot. The only exception is the sunrise in the mountains. In the morning it will be cold, so make sure to bring a jacket or something to cover your body from the wind. But normally by 9 o'clock everything should be fine. The second nuance about Madeira is there are too freaking much of tourists. Doesn't matter the weather, time, or either your father is bold or not. There will be a lot of people almost on all the locations you will be willing to visit. Does it make it worthless coming anyway? No, not at all. But the island isn't the place it used to be 5-10 years ago, when no one knew about it. However, the huge amount of tourists is a good thing, because that's the reason Madeira is so easy to travel. I returned to the hotel somewhere at 3 PM and I fell asleep immediately. The other part of the day I was practically doing nothing because the first 2 days were too crazy to go find even more adventures. The third day we took a bus to go in another city, Ponta do Sol. This one is famous for its bridge and waterfall, the one people use to wash their cars. This is one of landmarks of the island. However, I forgot my charger in the hotel, and you know what happens to iPhone's battery after 3 hours of using it, right? So I decided not to go to see that famous waterfall and to simply chill near the city on the beach. I even found 2 other waterfalls, and to be honest, I was happy with that. I even tried some water and it was absolutely delicious. Not many people. I recommend to visit this place. The last day I went to Pont de Saint-Laurent again, but this time with bus. By the way, the average price for a ride is 3 euros, which is really cheaper than I expected. Moreover, they go frequently. Now we're almost at the end of my trip, but there is one more thing I want to show you. Mesmerizing. I will remember these waves for the rest of my days. As you can see, I've barely seen half of the places I wanted to visit before the trip. There are many different, beautiful places to visit. This island is something else. I would call it a must-have destination for anyone. You have to visit this place at least once in your life. No wonder they call it the Hawaii of Europe.